Trey, this is going to be a video analysis of your hitting that I recorded last week. I'm going to point out some of the positive things that you're doing with your swing, and then also some areas that we may need to focus on. Okay, the first thing I want to point out is that I like the fact that you hold your hands high. I wouldn't normally tell hitters how to change their hands up or their hand placement before the pitch, because the basic thing that you want to make sure is that you're comfortable at the plate and that you are at the plate with confidence. So if you're comfortable with your hands here, that's perfectly fine. I would like to teach all hitters to have their hands up rather than having their hands down. That way we know that we have the opportunity to stay on top and down through the ball. One of the things that I like to teach is being relaxed and being comfortable at the plate. That's going to allow you to be a better hitter. If you notice while you're swinging right now, before you actually go into your stride and your swing, if you look back at your hands again, first thing I like to teach is motion. You have to develop some type of motion before the pitch. Motion, load, stride, swing. And we're going to break those things down next. Now, when I speak of motion, basically what I'm looking for a little swaying of the hips, uh, back and forth. But the biggest thing that I'm looking for is hand movement. You should be having a circular hand movement, which is going to allow the bat to pretty much go in a circular motion, the barrel of the bat. This is going to allow you to get in a rhythm and to go into your load, in which you want to take our hands back. Sometimes we have batters that actually either just lean back by shifting their weight back, or like I just mentioned before, some hitters like to just take their hands back, slightly back. It's sort of like being on a swing. In order to go forward, you have to go back first. So that's what we're going to call our load. All right, the next thing I want to focus on, after we have motion with the hands, we want to go into a load, all right, in which you're going to do a good job of. And then after that, we want to concentrate on our stride. Right now, I can tell that you have a soft stride, pretty much just picking the foot up and putting it back down. You seem to have somewhat of an open stance to start out with, and then you close back up. One of the things that we want to make sure that we do is that we don't close ourselves up. We just pretty much want to get back square with the plate once our front foot comes down. So you're doing a good job with circular motion. You're doing a good job with loading, shifting the movement back or shifting the weight back, and then also just having a very soft stride, just pretty much just picking up the heel and then placing the foot back down. Now, the last phase of my four-step approach to hitting is the swing. And I basically just started right here. Once you started to get into your swing, the biggest thing is that we want to make sure that we lead with the knob of the bat, or let our hands go towards the ball first, as opposed to letting the barrel of the bat beat our hands or the knob of the bat towards the contact point. Right now, you're in a good position of starting out with leading with your hands. When we lead with our hands, if you can see, I've drawn a yellow line pretty much just through the middle of the baseball. We want to make sure that our hands beat, or the knob of the bat beats the barrel of the bat through that imaginary finish line. As you can see right now, you are on the path of finishing with your hands and with the knob, but it seems that you're trying to stay too far inside, or making sure that you're staying inside the ball, that you're kind of handcuffing yourself right now. The triangle that I've drawn here is to focus on getting your arms extended. Right now, I just mentioned that it seems that you're handcuffing yourself, or you're making yourself a little bit too tight, just to try to make sure that you keep your hands inside the ball. After you've made contact, you should already be extended out. Your arms are extended, and not still bent at the elbow. And right now, if you can tell, the barrel of the bat has passed your hands, but your hands and your arms should be extended out a little bit further. One of the things that I love to teach hitters is that you don't have to know where you hit the ball at, because in the baseball game, once you make contact with the ball, then you're going to drop your head and you're going to run to first base. So the biggest thing, and one of the things I want to point out that you're doing very well based on this video, is that you're keeping your nose and your eyes down at the point of contact. As you can see right now, you've already made contact and the ball is already off of the bat, but your head and your eyes are still down at the point of contact, which is very good. I'm going to give you an opportunity to be able to see yourself from a different angle. One of the areas that I think that we need to pay attention to is our front hip. Now, we have to make sure that we clear our hips, but we don't want to make sure that we over rotate. And what I mean by that is that we could open up a little too soon and a little too much, which will cause us to be able to have problems or not be able to handle certain pitches. I would like for you to pay attention to your front hip, and then also pay attention to your right foot and see how it over rotates. Based on what I've seen, you have a pretty solid approach to hitting. And what we want to make sure that we do is we want to just make sure that we continue to build on positive things that you're doing, and then just go ahead and clean up some of the smaller things that you may not be doing, which is not many. But if you dedicate yourself, if you work the drills that we're going to work on, and you make sure that you're conscious of the areas that you need to get better, you're going to become a much better hitter.